I gave 5 years of my life to a child who wasn't mine. Woke up early, changed diapers, missed games, all for a little girl who called me daddy. Then one day, a phone call, 0% match. Not only was I not the father, the real dad was my teammate, the same man who stood beside me in the locker room, who ate at my table, who shook my hand while he was sleeping with my girl. The media had jokes. The sponsors dropped me. But this ain't a story about loss. It's about what happens when a man takes his power back. This is my story. This is You Are Not the Father, a raw, urban manipulation thriller about betrayal, collapse, and rebirth. So, if you think you've heard it all, you haven't. Hit follow on your favorite platform now, because the next story might just change the way you see everything. Don't miss a single twisted turn. Chapter 1. The Call That Changed Everything. It was just another game day. I was in the back seat of the Escalade, headphones on, hoodie low, locked in. The city buzzed by like static. Billboards, brake lights, screaming fans chasing the dream I was still pretending I hadn't lost. Practice was in 20 minutes. Coach already told me, focus up. But my mind wasn't on rebounds or rotations. It was on Chloe, the little girl who made me believe in forever. The one who used to run down the hallway screaming, "Daddy," like I was God walking through the front door. The girl with my last name on her preschool enrollment and my number stitched into her tiny warm-up jacket. My everything. Then the phone rang. Blocked number. I knew who it was. "Mr. King," the voice said, clipped and polite like this was a restaurant reservation, not my life they were about to gut. "This is the testing center. We've finalized the paternity results." I didn't even blink, just stared out at the skyline while my hand clenched tighter around my phone. "There is a 0.00% probability you are the biological father of Chloe Renee Parker." Silence. I swear the world stopped breathing. The car kept moving, but time didn't. My heart just stopped. My fingers went cold. My mouth didn't open. I sat there, hoodie over my eyes, like maybe if I didn't move, the truth wouldn't be real. But it was. She wasn't mine. Not legally. Not genetically. Not even by accident. 5 years. I bought her first bike. Slept next to her when she had nightmares. Held her when she threw up on my playoff jersey. And now that they telling me I'm just some dude who got played? I didn't even hang up. The phone slipped out my hand and hit the floor like it gave up too. That bitch knew. Every instinct inside me turned into fire. I wanted to scream. Wanted to throw the whole SUV into traffic. But I just sat there, silent, like some punk, letting the lie marinate in my chest like cancer. The team group chat was already blowing up. Somebody saw the lab tech's cousin post something about NBA baby daddy drama on Reddit. My business was about to be out there, not just in the blogs, but on national TV. My agent's voicemail was full. My publicist texted, "Do not post, do not speak. We're handling it. Fuck all that. This ain't something you handle with a tweet and a Notes app apology." This was 5 years of my soul, turned into a punchline. My teammates were gonna look at me like a fool. My endorsements? Done. Chloe's face was still my screensaver. I looked at it one last time before I deleted it. She was smiling, big gummy grin, holding up a Best Daddy card she made in crayon last Father's Day. God damn, this can't be my life. I got out the SUV before it even stopped, walked straight past the reporters with cameras, straight into the gym, straight to the court. And I dunked that fucking ball so hard the rim screamed with me. But it didn't make me feel better. Nothing would. Not until I found out who the father really was and what they did behind my back, because I swear on everything, this ain't the end. It's the start of my revenge season. Chapter 2, False Innocence. public shame. The thing about lies is they rot in silence, but once the light hits them, they explode. By the time I left the gym that afternoon, the story had already gone viral. NBA star duped, raises teammate's child for 5 years. Who's the daddy? A locker room scandal unfolds. Chloe Gate. They gave my daughter's pain a hashtag. I pulled up to the house like a damn earthquake. She was standing outside in leggings, barefoot, drinking cucumber water like her whole fucking world wasn't crumbling. I stepped out slow. No cameras here, just us and God. She knew. "Don't come at me like that," she said before I even opened my mouth. Like that? Like what, exactly? Like a man who just found out he's been raising a stranger's baby? Like a man who sacrificed his mental health, his schedule, his goddamn soul, while she was out here getting raw dogged by my teammate? I didn't speak. I couldn't. My mouth was dry. Rage sat heavy in my chest like a wet hoodie. She rolled her eyes. "You want an apology or some shit?" That's when I lost it. "Chloe's not mine," I finally said. "You knew." She hesitated, and that pause, that tiny fucking pause, was louder than any scream. "I didn't think it would matter," she said. Didn't think it would matter. That's what she said to me. Like 5 years of bottle feeds, preschool recitals, pink Barbie shoes in the hallway, and nosebleeds on my silk shirts. Didn't matter. I didn't even hit her. I walked right past her into the house. I needed air, but the whole damn place stank of deception. Her perfume, her laughter still echoing in the walls. On the kitchen counter sat a framed photo of me and Chloe, cheeks pressed close, her holding that little stuffed giraffe I gave her from my first overseas tour. I turned it face down. 10 minutes later, TMZ dropped the leak. A side chick of a bench player posted a DM thread. Said the baby's real dad wasn't just anyone. It was Cam. Camera Cam fucking Bradley. My own teammate. Played beside me for 3 seasons. Dapped me up every night. Broke bread with me. Watched my daughter fall asleep in my lap on flights. That snake. That bitch-ass smiling teammate snake. The internet went nuclear. My socials flooded. Commenters laughing at me. Celebrities quoting my pain. Sponsorships ghosting me faster than she ever did. Nike pulled their renewal meeting. Gatorade said we'll revisit in Q3. My agent hit me. "We need damage control. Sit down with GMA, clear your name, spin the sympathy." Fuck sympathy. I didn't want pity. I wanted war. By midnight, I was sitting on the edge of my bed, Chloe's baby sock still clutched in my hand like a relic. I could hear her voice in my head. "Love you, Daddy." And that's what hurt the most. Not the lie, not the bitch, not even Cam. It was her. That little girl I'd die for. I was never her father, just a prop in someone else's long con. I turned off my phone, threw it across the room, and stared into the dark, breathing like a caged animal. This ain't just betrayal, it's televised humiliation. And every minute I don't speak, the world writes my story for me. But I got one move left, and trust me, everybody gonna hear it. Chapter 3. The Teammate. Let me tell you something about betrayal. It never comes from strangers. It comes from the man who calls ya bro. From the one you go to war with, sweat with, bleed with. In my case, it came from Cam Bradley. I showed up at the facility the next morning in a black hoodie, shades on, no entourage. I wasn't there to shoot. I wasn't there for weights. I was there to confront the man who slid into my home like a goddamn serpent. Cam was in the weight room, benching like it was just another Tuesday. No guilt on his face. Just that same fake-ass grin he wore in our championship photo. Me holding the trophy, him in the background clapping. I walked straight in. Didn't speak. He saw me, paused mid-rep. "You good?" he said, casual as hell, like I didn't know. Like the whole fucking world didn't know. I didn't answer. I just stood there, fists clenched, jaw locked. "Yo," he said again, sitting up now. "You good, King?" I walked up slow, close enough to smell his cologne, the same one I used to smell on her neck. "You fuck my girl," I said, voice dead calm. His face twitched. Not much, just enough. And that twitch told me everything I needed to know. I didn't wait for a confession. I swung. My right connected with his cheek so hard it echoed. Metal clanged. A dumbbell dropped. Trainers came rushing in, but I was already on top of him. "You slept in my house," I roared. "Ate my food, held my daughter." He didn't even fight back at first, just curled up like the coward he was, covering his face while I pounded every ounce of betrayal into him. Someone grabbed me, 3, maybe 4 dudes. But I kept swinging until they pulled me back hard. "Get the fuck off me!" My vision was red. My chest was heaving. My soul split down the middle. Cam sat on the ground bleeding, lips split, face swollen. Still, he had the nerve to say it. I didn't mean for it to go that far. "You didn't mean?" I lunged again. Trainers wrestled me back. That's when Coach stormed in. "Office, now." We sat in silence across from each other in the coach's office, ice packs on our hands. PR was already in the hallway. They'd heard. Coach stared me down. Not with anger, with that tired disappointment of a man watching one of his stars fall in real time. "Tell me this isn't true," he said. I didn't respond. He sighed, deep, long. "This hits press. It won't just kill your season, it'll kill your brand." Too late. It was already trending. The teammate daddy, Jaksha the king of fools. Chloe Gate, I left the facility before practice. No interview, no apology. Just walked past the cameras, past the fans, past the little girl in a number 23 jersey holding a "We Love You King" sign. She looked at me like I was her hero. I couldn't even look back. At home, I sat in the dark, just me in the silence. And then I did something stupid. I scrolled her Instagram. There it was, a picture from 2 years ago. Caption, "Besties number NB, A life number loyalty over everything." And right there in the background, Cam, shirtless, in my pool. I should have seen it, should have known. But when love is blind, betrayal is a motherfucker. I picked up a bottle of Hennessy, took a long pull. Then I recorded a video, front-facing, raw, no filter. "Since y'all want to laugh at me, let's talk. You raise a baby, love a woman, give your whole life, and they both ain't yours." Imagine that. I posted it. No caption, just truth. And the internet exploded. Chapter 4. Mind racing, media hunting. I couldn't sleep. I laid in bed staring at the ceiling fan, the blades spinning just like my thoughts. My mind was racing, past, present, future. Everything crashing at once like bad audio distortion in my own head. No Chloe running in to hug me goodnight. No good luck kisses before game day. Just silence, and the faint hum of my name getting dragged through headlines. NBA star breaks. Silence on paternity scandal. Fatherhood fraud. Cam Bradley named in viral video. Chloe Gate heats up. The video that shocked sports media. Every station had it. Every late-night host had a joke. One of them said, "At least he knows who's not the father. Most of us still waiting on Maury." I wanted to smash the screen, but I just sat there. Number my agent kept calling. I ignored him. My publicist texted, "ABC, Fox, Shade Room, and The Breakfast Club want exclusives. GMA wants a tearful sit-down. You in?" Number I wasn't doing any fake cry session. This wasn't about image. It was about truth and pain and betrayal. So I did what I knew how to do. I started watching tapes, not game tapes, her tapes, old iCloud clips, birthday parties, vacations. Chloe on the swings calling Cam Uncle Cam. My stomach twisted. His hands were always there. Behind her on the slide, next to her at the cake. Motherfucker. By midday, the league had issued a no comment. But teammates were talking. One DM'd me, "Yo, we thought you knew." Thought I knew. Turns out the whispers were there, locker room jokes. One even said he saw Cam driving my girl's car once. Said they were arguing in a parking lot back in 2021. I didn't want to believe it. But now the puzzle was snapping into place. I looked in the mirror and saw a man breaking. Not physically, not publicly, but internally. The kind of pain that doesn't scream. It simmers, it waits, and then it consumes. Later that night, a burner account dropped a bombshell on Twitter. Cam's been playing daddy for years. Ask about that secret Airbnb on Fairfax. Airbnb? I clicked the link. A photo. Grainy but clear enough. Cam in a hoodie and my ex, with Chloe in tow. No stroller. Just her on his shoulders. I had to pause the video, because in it, Chloe looked happy. Like she didn't even miss me. Like Cam was her real dad all along. That's when the tears came. Not rage this time, just grief. I sat on the floor, back against the wall, bottle in my hand, tears soaking my shirt. No cameras, no crowd, no teammates, no lawyers, just me. A man who gave his heart to a lie, a man erased by truth. I didn't answer the phone when Mom called, didn't check on the team's group chat, didn't scroll the blogs. I just stayed in that dark room, quiet, broken, remembering how I used to read Chloe bedtime stories, how I used to dream about walking her down the aisle, and now I was just a footnote in her story, a headline in her life, a cautionary tale for every man who loved too hard without asking enough questions. But I wasn't done, not yet, because the next chapter of this pain, I was gonna write it in blood. Chapter 5, Chloe's birthday, no balloons. She turned 5 the next day. Chloe, the little girl who used to paint hearts on my arms with washable markers. The one who would cry when I left for away games. And now she had a whole new daddy. One who looked like me, wore the same number, lived in the same city, and played on the same fucking team. Her mom, my ex, had the audacity to send an invitation. White envelope, gold script. Chloe's 5th birthday, magical memories await. I stared at it for an hour before I RSP'd. Not because I wanted to go, because I had to, for her. I pulled up late, SUV tinted, hoodie up, parked 2 blocks away to avoid the circus. I walked through a maze of pink balloons, glitter banners, and little girls wearing tiaras and Disney dresses. Chloe was in the center of it all, smiling like the sun. She didn't even notice me at first. But then she did. Daddy. She ran, fast, barefoot. And for a second, just 1 second, everything inside me shattered and rebuilt at the same time. I scooped her up. She smelled like cupcakes and baby lotion. Her curls bounced, her cheeks warm against mine. "I missed you," she whispered in my ear. I almost dropped to my knees right there, almost confessed everything. Almost told her the truth, but I didn't. Because she didn't deserve that, not today. I saw him before I even let her go. Camera standing by the bounce house, holding a juice box, wearing my daughter's face like a fucking trophy. Our eyes locked. I handed Chloe back and walked straight over. "You proud of yourself?" I said under my breath. He didn't flinch, didn't apologize, didn't blink, just said, "She loves me too, man." I could have killed him. I swear to God I could have ended everything right there. But that's when I saw it, tucked into his back pocket, half visible. A familiar gold key ring. My key ring. The one I lost last year at our New Year's party. The one I thought I dropped somewhere between the patio and the garage. He didn't just take my girl. He was in my house. way before the truth came out. Later that night, after the party, I was back at my place, alone. No Chloe, no family, no future. And that's when I saw her purse on the counter. She must have left it during one of her last drop-offs, thinking I wouldn't notice, thinking I wouldn't look. But I did. Inside, tucked between lip gloss and baby wipes, was a second phone. Burner. Locked. I used her birthday to guess the password. Wrong. Tried again. My name. Wrong. Then I tried his jersey number. Unlocked. The messages hit me like a bullet to the gut. I told you he'd never suspect. I wish Chloe had your eyes instead. When are you coming back over? He's at practice. Videos, nudes, voice notes, 5 years of deception. A parallel relationship while I played father to another man's child, and they called it love. I dropped the phone. No rage this time, no screaming, just cold realization. This wasn't a mistake, it was a plan. They manipulated me, used me, built a life off my name, my body, my brand. And now the truth was in my hands, unfiltered, undeniable. I looked in the mirror. My eyes were bloodshot, my fists clenched, my smile gone. And in that moment, I knew. The birthday party was over, the balloons were deflated, the cake was eaten. But the revenge, that shit was just beginning. Chapter 6, Confession and Collapse. They say every man has a breaking point. Mine came 3 nights after Chloe's birthday, after I found the second phone, after I saw those messages, after I scrolled through 5 years of betrayal disguised as love. I sat in my home theater, lights off, screen glowing with surveillance footage I didn't even know I had. See? My security system backs up everything, cloud saves. And in the folder labeled January 2022, a clip. Time-stamped, 1:43 a.m. cam, walking shirtless out my back door. Her behind him, in my hoodie, kissing him like I didn't even exist. I didn't cry this time, I didn't scream. I pressed record, flipped the camera, and stared at my reflection on the screen like it owed me answers. Then I said, this is for every man who gave his whole life to a lie. For every father who wasn't one, but still tried. For every brother who shook hands with the man sleeping in his bed. My name is Malik King, NBA All-Star, and for the last 5 years, I've been raising a daughter who isn't mine. The mother knew, my own teammate knew, and now, so will the world. I posted it, unedited, no music, just pain. Within 10 minutes, it hit 1 million views. By the hour mark, it was on every outlet. Shade Room, ESPN, Complex, CNN, even Good Morning America. That night, Cam went private. She deleted every trace of Chloe's face from her page. But it was too late. The story had a pulse, and it was feeding. The NBA issued a statement. We are conducting an internal review of the situation involving players Malik King and Cameron Bradley. We ask that all parties respect the privacy of the child involved. Privacy. Y'all televised my pain, sold ad space on my heartbreak. And now you want silence? Nah. By morning, brands had started pulling out. Gatorade, gone. Beats, gone. Jordan Brand paused our collab indefinitely. My manager tried to soften the blow. We'll spin this. You're a victim. America loves a comeback. But I wasn't looking for sympathy. I wanted truth, and now I had it. Then came the twist I didn't expect. An anonymous email hit my inbox, subject line, "You deserve to know." Inside, a video file, unlisted YouTube link. I hesitated, clicked. It was her, my ex, sitting in a car, filming herself, face streaked with tears. If you're watching this, then you probably already know everything. I never meant for it to go this far. I didn't plan to lie forever. I was scared. Scared you'd leave. Scared I'd lose the life we built. And Cam, he was just supposed to be a mistake. But I fell in love with both of you. I just didn't know how to choose. She sniffled. Chloe doesn't know. She still thinks you're her dad. And maybe, in some way, you still are. I know I don't deserve forgiveness, but I'm sorry. The screen went black. I stared at the upload date. 3 months ago. She recorded this before the truth came out, before the scandal, before my collapse. So, she knew. She always knew. That night, my mother called, finally. She didn't say much, just, "Baby, come home. You don't gotta fight this war alone." I didn't respond. I just sat there, staring at a photo of me and Chloe, the last real moment before everything cracked. I thought I hit rock bottom already, but truth is, I was still falling. And if there's one thing I know about free fall, eventually, you hit something. And when I hit, everybody's gonna feel it. Chapter 7. Retaliation in Silence. I vanished. No Instagram posts, no media statements, no games played, no practice appearances. Just silence. They said I was mentally unfit to compete. They said I was grieving privately. They said a whole lot of shit, but none of it was true. I wasn't grieving. I wasn't broken. I wasn't even angry anymore. I was calculating. I moved out of the city, took a rental cabin 2 hours upstate. No Wi-Fi, no paparazzi, no memories. Just trees, heat, and time. Time to think. Time to plan. Time to become the kind of man who doesn't let the world chew him up and spit him out. I stopped answering everyone. My agent, my mother, even my trainer. Only person I kept in contact with, my lawyer. Because while the media was feeding off my downfall, I was building a legal nuke. See, what people forget is this. There's power in stillness. When you stop reacting, they stop controlling. So I let the blogs run wild, let Cam post filtered selfies from his new family outings. Let her drop subtle quotes on Instagram like, "Only God can judge me." Cute. Meanwhile, I was filing civil action. Fraud, emotional damages, custody appeal, breach of fiduciary trust. Yup, I got lawyers who read everything, and they were pissed. Then came the bombshell. My lawyer called. Cam's being investigated by the league's ethics committee. There's a potential contract violation for conduct unbecoming of a teammate. We're sending over statements, NDA breaches, text logs, everything. I didn't smile, not yet, but it felt like oxygen for the first time in weeks. I posted one photo, just one, a shot of the mountains. Caption, "Silence is never weakness, it's precision." Millions of likes, thousands of comments, everyone speculating, where's Malik? What's he planning? They thought I was healing. They thought I was rebuilding. They didn't realize I was reclaiming. Then she called, blocked number. But I knew the voice. She didn't even start with hello, just, "I miss you." I was wrong. I let her talk, let her cry, let her twist the knife with every apology. Every "Chloe still asks for you." Every "I never meant to hurt you." And then I said, "You didn't hurt me. You buried me." But the thing about dead men, they rise different. I hung up. That night, I got word Cam had been benched, suspended indefinitely. Personal conduct was the official statement. Unofficially, he lost the locker room. Nobody daps a man who betrayed blood. I booked a flight, returned to the city. Not to reclaim the spotlight, not to fix what was broken, but to stand tall in the ruins, like a monument to survival. I met with Chloe one last time at the supervised visit center. She wore pink again, hair in little braids, gripping that same stuffed giraffe. "Hi, Daddy," she said. And just like that, my knees buckled. But I didn't cry, didn't break. I sat, held her hand, told her a story, laughed with her, let her lean on my shoulder like she always used to. Then I stood up, and I let her go, because sometimes real strength is not in holding on. It's in knowing when to walk away. Chapter 8. Real love, no more lies. I thought I'd never trust again. Thought every woman had an angle, every smile hid a plan, every "I love you" was just foreplay to manipulation. But then I met her. No cameras, no fame, no filters. She worked at a bookstore in Brooklyn. Brown skin like dusk, locks tucked in a red head wrap, wore glasses and Doc Martens, and called me out the second I stepped in. "You look lost," she said, either emotionally or alphabetically. I laughed, for real this time. Her name was Nia. She didn't ask about the scandal, didn't follow sports, didn't care about NBA drama. Said she saw me once on a billboard, but thought I was just another tall man in a hoodie. We got coffee, talked about music, poetry, the difference between surviving and healing. She had this way of looking at me like she saw me. Not the stats, not the money, not the headlines, just me. And for the first time in a long time, I wasn't performing, wasn't defending, wasn't apologizing for bleeding. I was just breathing. It didn't fix everything. Chloe was still gone. The betrayal still lived in the corners of my chest, but I stopped bleeding and started building. Nia would touch my arm when I flinched in my sleep, rub circles on my palm when I drifted into silence, remind me, softly, steadily, that broken doesn't mean ruined. We made love with no power games, no manipulation, just connection, real, gentle, honest. I started journaling, doing therapy twice a week, lifting again, but not to punish, to strengthen. My comeback wasn't for the league, it was for me, for the man who was stripped bare in public and rebuilt himself in private. One day, Nia asked me something no one else had. If Chloe called you daddy again, would you answer? I didn't speak for a long time. Then I said, yeah, but I wouldn't stay. Not unless I knew I was needed, not wanted, not used, needed. She nodded, kissed my forehead, and said, that's the difference between who you were and who you are now. I got a call from my agent. New endorsements on the table, documentary offers, even a publishing deal. I told him maybe, but I wasn't chasing redemption anymore. I wasn't here to fix the narrative, I was living it. And if you're listening to this, if you've ever been betrayed, played, twisted into a version of yourself you barely recognize, let me say this. You are not your heartbreak. You are not the lie they told. You are not the father. But you are the one who gets to decide what happens next.